On a certain day, the deity asked his last question: what fire cannot burn, rust cannot corrode, wind cannot topple, and is capable of rebuilding the entire world? Buddha replied, the benefits of good deeds. If this is indeed true, if good deeds bring so many benefits, then why do we often see bad things happening to good people? Have you ever had this impression? Leave your comment. Consider whether this resonates with you in any way. Sometimes, a person seeks to do things correctly, not harm anyone, but ends up facing difficulties. It seems unfair, I know, but it's worth reflecting on. First and foremost, it's important to understand that we should not do good expecting some reward, and that bad things can happen to anyone, even to a good person. The best person in the world can still be robbed, lose a job, or lose a loved one. In fact, a good person usually remains good even in these situations. However, there is a deeper question here. What does it really mean to be a good person? Hello, this is the Path of the Wise channel. In today's video, I will share a Buddhist tale that addresses this question. It's a story called The Monk and the Snake, but before we begin, I'd like to ask you to consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and ringing the bell if you already follow our work. If this is your first time here, welcome. Now, let's get to the tale that explores why bad things happen to good people and, of course, how we can deal with it. One day, Gautama Buddha was sitting with his disciples when the king of a nearby village approached and said, Master, since I became your follower, everyone has been exploiting me, taking advantage of my kindness. Before following your teachings, people were afraid of me because I was extremely cruel and didn't hesitate to condemn someone to death. But after becoming your follower, I no longer feel the urge to punish anyone or get angry. I have become peaceful and look at everyone with compassion. However, some people are taking advantage of my kindness, putting my people in danger. Now I am facing many problems in ruling my kingdom. Please tell me what I should do. Upon hearing the king, Buddha told a story that began like this. There was a venomous snake that lived in a hole on a large tree by the roadside in a field near a village. The snake attacked anyone who approached, and many people died due to its fatal bite. People were afraid to approach the tree because they feared the snake. One day, a monk passed through the village and saw that beautiful tree. He decided to meditate under its shade before continuing on. Some villagers who were taking their cows back home saw the monk and warned him about the snake, telling him that the snake was so dangerous that it bit anyone who approached. The monk smiled and continued walking toward the tree while the villagers went on their way. Upon reaching the tree, the monk sat down and began to meditate. The snake emerged from the hole, hissing furiously, ready to attack. While chanting his mantra, the monk looked deep into the snake's eyes, which magically started to converse with him. How dare you sit here in my domain? Aren't you afraid of me? Don't you know that nobody comes near, said the snake. The monk replied with compassion, but what should I fear? I am not afraid of death, and I do not desire to live beyond what is necessary. When my time comes, I will depart in peace. Why should I fear you? In reality, it is you who have lost your life, and that's why you bite everyone who comes near. Until then, the snake had only encountered people who wanted to kill it or ran away in fear. It had never met someone who wasn't afraid and was willing to talk. So, the snake coiled up, placing its head at the monk's feet, and said, Oh, sir, you are right. Everything I have done so far has been to protect my life. But if I continue like this, people will kill me. The monk replied, You are correct, my dear friend, but remember one thing, one day, life comes to an end. When your time comes, it is not appropriate to go around killing everyone out of fear. Have more love in your heart. Then, the monk got up and left. Reflecting on the monk's words, the snake decided to give up its aggressive nature and stopped biting people. However, things did not go as it expected. As soon as people realized that it no longer bit, they no longer feared it. Those who used to run away in fear began to chase and mistreat the snake, throwing stones, beating it, and committing all sorts of cruelty. The snake felt sad and lonely. Some time later, the monk returned and was surprised to see the mistreated and sad snake. He asked, My friend, what happened? Who did this to you? The snake sighed and replied, Since I followed your teaching to abandon violence and stop biting people, everyone has been hurting me. Since I adopted a good and peaceful life, without wishing to harm anyone, people no longer fear me. No one respects me, everyone hurts me all the time, and my life has become very difficult. My dear friend, you misunderstood my words, said the monk. My advice was for you to stop biting everyone, not to give up your responsibilities. As a king, you must fulfill your duty as a ruler, being firm to discipline everyone in your kingdom so that people can live peacefully without insecurity. You need to fulfill your responsibilities, being firm in your actions and loving in your heart. Therefore, you must become like a monk inside and a king outside. After telling this story to the king, Buddha asked, "What do you understand from this story? Are you not interpreting my advice in the same way as the snake? I told you to abandon your cruel nature, but not to give up your responsibilities. As a king, you must fulfill your duty as a ruler, being firm to discipline everyone in your kingdom so that people can live peacefully without insecurity. You need to fulfill your responsibilities, being firm in your actions and loving in your heart. Therefore, you must become like a monk inside and a king outside." After this tale, I ask you, seeker, what did you extract from this story? Do you realize that being good and deciding not to harm anyone inevitably involves being good to oneself and not causing harm? Love and respect begin with self-love and self-respect. Being good does not mean accepting everything passively. Virtue is an active choice. Choosing non-violence requires effort, just as earning respect does. The very act of being good teaches about goodness and inspires others to lead a virtuous life. Both Eastern and Western traditions have much to teach us about this. Here on the Path of the Wise channel, when we talk about adopting wisdom as a lifestyle, we mean living a virtuous life that brings out the best in each of us in all areas. I hope you enjoyed this beautiful tale as much as I did and that it touches your heart and proves useful to you. Thank you for watching.